Wow, look at this. Look at that. I think the bottom's in, huh? Low volume rise. There's no liquidity. The sell liquidity's gone. If it was high volume, then it would be problematic, I think, but it's low volume. That could be good. Look at that, right back up to, oh my god, look at that. Pump, 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 pump. Interesting. Okay, so let me get rid of all of this stuff now. Don't know what it is. Anyway, because what's this one? I'll have a look at that. Oh, actually, that's interesting, isn't it? Okay, that changes things. All right, so actually, this is going to be the critical point, isn't it? Interesting. So this is basically what we're looking at right now. I think, let me have a look at some other things. That was actually, sometimes I draw these ideas and I don't remember. That's my long from down there. I'll keep that. That's fine. These two are fine. What's that one? Okay. The early open is much lower. The gap's lower. Whatever that is. Let's get rid of that. What's this? These. Yep, that's important too. I'll keep that. What's this one? Okay. Swing failure. Yep, that was, see that? Swing failure, wide invalidation, and it's a good trade. Golden pocket off this pivot. So it was always going to be a good trade. Wow, look at that. What's that? Trend based. Okay, I need to have a look at that, and I need to have a look at this as well. What is this one? That's on flip. That's still in play. Higher time levels. So there you go. The daily levels be reacted well. And it's the correction. Right. What else is there? SR flip. Okay. Let me check the volume levels for today first to see if there's any changes. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take it all the way down to this pivot now. Have a slightly wider profile. Now that that's in the range, isn't it? It's not deviation from the range anymore because that's now the bottom of the range, isn't it? So we haven't actually hit the value area low, have we? I had the value area low. Okay, so this is the difference, isn't it? If you have it, if I have it to here, it's at the value area low, which seen a perfect reaction. See that? Perfect reaction for the value area low. But if you take it slightly wider, the value area low is actually slightly lower down. You take into consideration all of this data from the lows of this price range, and slow it slightly lower down into the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders pattern here. which we haven't hit. So we've hit the kind of the tighter one, but not the wider one. Deviation from the range. Yeah, maybe I'll update it now. I think we bounced correctly, but just because I just want to capture this lower data here now, just to make it slightly wider. Have a little bit of a wider berth. Pull that down there. The rest is the same. High volume node, high volume node, and actually this value area low now is a high volume node. Let me just have a look at my higher time frame levels as well, just kind of make sure all of that is up to date. Did I do that? Single prints, I'll have a look at those as well quickly. Right, higher time frame levels. So we've hit the we've kind of, how did we reclaim that daily level? Not very well. No real reclaimer. We just kind of went through it. I don't like that. Don't really like that did that. That's not giving me confidence. Get rid of that. Actually, no, I'll keep it because it's closed. I'll just rename it to washed. Get rid of this one now. It's done. Let's just have a look at all the levels now, just to keep them up to date. All right, so we have a brand new weekly up there. I'll move this weekly to the right place now. We have one weekly down there. They're both untapped. Monthly still hasn't printed yet, so we don't know what the monthly is going to be. We have a monthly up there. It's been tapped already. It's been washed. Then we have a monthly down there. And then obviously we have the daily levels. Let's have a look at those. That's been taken. The liquidity's been taken there. That liquidity's been taken there and there. This one's now just been hit. We are coming into one right now actually. Here. That hasn't been hit yet. So we're about to hit it. And you'd expect a reaction. You'd expect some kind of reaction. It's quite close to hitting that now. It's quite a low volume rise, so it's something to bear in mind. There's obviously a lot of the liquidity is gone, so buying and selling in this region is going to move the price quite a lot. I think that's all my levels. I don't see any. So we have that one wash monthly level up there, and we have this wash daily, which we're kind of low. We're back above now. We haven't tested it, but we're back above it. We're coming into a daily level there, and the POC, the point of control, is coming into our sites. And put that all up there. Right at the top. Okay, so I have all my levels. What I'm going to just quickly do is I'm going to check. Good morning, David. Yeah, another big liquidation. I'm going to check XO charts because I want to just kind of update everything. White Musukuma Kachikangwe. Good afternoon. Just want to see if we have any kind of, in this down move, did we create any single prints? Don't know. It's hard to tell. There's a selling tail. There's no single prints, is there, in this down move? There's the single prints up there, huh? Price came back into it a little bit. Didn't really create single prints in this move, huh? In this kind of price action to the downside. So I don't know if there's much resistance to the upside in the context of this move, huh? Because we didn't create any single prints, and so naturally what I think was happened is we've tapped the liquidity to go further, but I think potentially the liquidity's gone in this down move. That's what I'm thinking right now. So that could mean to a fast up move if the price decides to go up. Let me have a look at these daily naked pointer controls. This is the daily naked pointer controls. Just write them down. I just want to check to make sure I've got the up-to-date figures. Naked daily pointer control. I'll write it down here and then I'll update it. So 67500 and then 69100, 71200. I think I've already done this, but I just want to check. Our current weekly 650900. So naked. I mean, this isn't naked because this is the current week, but the naked one is up there at 70967. What did I do? That one there, 70940. And then we've got the monthly. We haven't actually printed the month, but there's a point of control right at the top, 71820. I don't assume we're going to get there by the end of the month. We never know, so I won't mark it because I don't know. But you see the point of control of this month is at the top. We're actually underneath the value area of this month. You see that? So that's quite interesting. About 6,700. It's going to be a big resistance. 6,700. 67,000. Let me have a look. Oh, look, there is a little bit of a single print created in this up move. Look at that. That's what I wanted to see, where the single prints are. So let me just mark that out. Single prints. 65900 to 66090. Any more single prints? We've already cleared this one. Any more? Any more? No. Okay. Yeah, look at the order flow. We had liquidation bubble here. We had liquidation bubble here. Had the bubble here, but the price went above the bubble, so that's quite bullish. And then we've obviously liquidated again. You know, big market volume here. It's like 50-50, yeah? Look, plus 427k dominant order size long. This was clearly some kind of short squeeze liquidation. Excuse me. Oh my god, I need a tea. Some liquidation event. Lots of imbalances here. Although there was a big sell order there at one point. Oh my god. Breathe. These are take profits. Drop in OI. Price goes up. The shorts closing. Longs closing. Shorts opening. A little bit of shorts coming in now. Price coming down. OI going up. We got this big market order here. So it's like a 6 million volume, 1.7 million positive delta, and the dominant order size is plus 472k. late longs here. It's quite a big liquidation, huh? 20 million green volume in that candle, 31 total. I think that's the candle to beat right now. You come underneath that candle, then you're probably heading lower. But as long as we're kind of above that candle, then we should be okay. How did we get above daily open? Front run. VWAP. Held. Shorts opening in its down move. Shorts getting squeezed. That's basically what's happened. Yeah. So lots of shorts opening. Lots of shorts. These are shorts getting liquidated. So we are range bound. We've hit the lower liquidation point. We've hit the higher liquidation point, I think. Unless you're going to get now market orders come into the market to push the price up. We're kind of teetering at the edge of our range because you can see that there's some liquidations. And so liquidations are quite big market events, market buying events. And you'd expect, you see how the price is stopped with a massive liquidation. So unless you get market orders to carry the price, continue carrying the price upwards, you're going to slow down because naturally people aren't going to just market buy this price in this price range. They're going to wait for the price to pull back before entering if they're looking to go long, or they're probably thinking maybe we should go short here. Okay, you can always short liquidation events. Yeah, there's always room to short them, but you need an invalidation. Okay, so that's the big deal. And also we have the weekly open slightly above us, and then slightly higher up we've got some other levels like the weekly high, the monthly open, and then some other things. I think I can't really tell from the order flow if there's no like divergences either, so it's hard to get specific information from that, which is going to be helpful to this analysis. I posted yesterday on my Twitter. I just retweeted Lucky Ape's idea. I think he's a pretty good trader, so that's why I keep an eye on him. Lucky Chart Ape. Basically he's saying he's leaning to all-time highs on here, but he does accept that the price can break down. And I accept both concepts, both ideas here. Yeah, I've always been kind of like, I was bearish at the highs, and here is a decisive moment right now because of exactly what I was saying yesterday in my stream. I was saying that we've put in a 5-wave move. Yeah, and just looking at it now, don't know if this is confusing for anyone, but let me just simplify it so we can understand what's going on. Let me just hide these corrective waves for now. So we just have these in double combos. I'll get rid of them. So it's just a bit cleaner. And so I've been tracking these Elliott waves for a while, for a good part of 6 months now, actually. And we had our wave 1, our wave 2, and we are potentially still in our wave 3, or we've completed our wave 3. So the impulsive wave 3 has 5 waves. 3 are impulsive, 2 are corrective. Okay, and each impulsive wave can be broken down into 5 waves also. Okay, so that's how it works. We had our wave 1, we had our wave 2. So wave 1 impulsive, wave 2 corrective, wave 3 impulsive, wave 4 corrective. This is where we're at now. Here, this is the question at hand. are these 5 waves. Don't remember how I did this. Probably to there actually. I'm not sure. Don't know. A little bit subjective here, but where did the wave start? 1, 2, 3. Did it start here or did it start here? Doesn't really matter where it started. Potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Potentially from here to here, and then also you could also potentially count it from. You could do it from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do it like that, or you can probably start it from here. No, probably not actually. Probably it has to start here, to be honest. If we're just looking at it, just counting it, probably not from there actually. Yeah, okay, so actually, so the question is that a wave over here, or is that just corrective? Doesn't really matter so much. Doesn't really matter if it's like that either. Doesn't really matter. It's either like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, actually, I think that's correct. So let's just say it's till there, probably to that one there. A corrective move. So this is the question. So the question is where there's the 3 ends. Okay, so this is the question I've been asking. And technically, when you're looking at Elliott waves, technically you can this is a complete 5 wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That 5 wave doesn't have to be anything but that. That's correct. Yeah. And so that's the question. The question is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have a small 5, and it's game over for this move, because that's your macro 3. That's your higher time frame 3, and we're in a correction now. Or, and this is the question, is this wave 1 of a 5 wave move? Yeah, is that wave 1? Because that could just be wave 1, 5 waves in one wave, and then you have a corrective 2, and then you have the wave 3, the big wave, the wave 3, the wave 4, and then the wave 5. Okay, so this could just be wave 1 of 5 to complete the 3, which would actually take us to higher prices. Okay, and this is what we don't know. We don't know yet, and I think the only way to be 100% certain that this is complete is if we come underneath the start point. Yeah, that would for sure signify completion of this 3, because if this was the beginning of a 5 wave move, you couldn't come underneath the 0 point. That would invalidate. Okay, so that's how you know. Otherwise, we just don't know right now whether this is the beginning of a new 5 wave move and we've completed wave 1, or we're at an end and we're just correcting. So this is kind of the dilemma of crypto right now. That's why Bitcoin is quite unsteady right now. People are wondering, why is crypto unsteady? Because you have this question mark on where we're at, and you can sense it in the charts. You can tell the uncertainty is very reflective in how the price is moving and the behavior of the price, and that's having an impact on the wider market and crypto in as a whole. Okay, so that's just to give you a clarification of where we're at and why we're experiencing such uncertainty and volatility right now, because no one knows whether we have another big wave to come or whether we're actually in a correction. It's impossible to know until it happens. That's the problem. It's quite a lagging way to analyze, but it's just the way it is. Okay, so that doesn't help me because I'm just as stuck. So what I'm thinking of, firstly, I'm keeping an eye on these this trend line. Okay, so I've got this wave 3 trend line, which technically should not be broken, or if you lose it, you've got to reclaim it quickly. It's basically from where this trend started to the 0.2 and the 0.4. You see that? So I'm trying to make it as accurate as possible, somewhere like that. Let me just try and tidy it up so it's quite nicely on point. Kind of there. I kind of feel like it was front run a little bit here. And this is the question. The question is this just a little fake out? And do we back test this trend line to hold it for continuation? That's what would be required for continuation. Do you take the trend line on the outer edges, or do you just take it to the actual pivots? That's also a question. So that's why it's quite subjective. If you take it just to the 2 pivots, we've lost that trend line. But if you take it to the start point here, where the impulse began, basically there. Doesn't really matter if it's there or there. We're basically there. And then do you take it to this pivot, the most recent one, or do you just take it to this pivot, and then that was just a front run? So it's quite subjective in the way you draw these trend lines and which is right and wrong. Yeah, it's hard to tell, but you can see we lost it and now we're coming back above it. Do we reject from it here? Okay, I think whatever happens, it's really important that we reclaim this trend line as support, and whatever happens, we're going to have to reclaim 67k, which is this neckline, as support. So even though the price has moved quite a lot today, and even though the SEC has dropped its case against Ethereum for being a security, that happened today, or yesterday night, I think it's still premature to be bullish, just simply because we still haven't proved ourselves. The price still hasn't proved itself, and it hasn't been able to get back above this 67k mark, and we still haven't, even if we do get above this trend line, we haven't back tested it. So you do need a little back test to confirm that we're back above it. So we still haven't seen a sign of a sign of strength. All we're seeing right now is a little reaction from a place where the price should have reacted. It should have reacted. We had a swing failure here yesterday. Yeah, for one day the price failed to go down further, and now we're seeing a little bit of a buy up, a little bit of a profit take. Whether people are short, they're taking profit, or whether people are still buying the dips, and this was a good place to just buy. Yeah. Now the question will be continuation, whether you see bullish continuation, and then the other question is going to be whether you see people take profit, because if they're taking profit, then they're not looking for higher. And the other question is going to be whether people are looking to cover their positions, longs or whatever, with shorts, or they're going to short because they're actually quite bearish. You know, you've got a lot of people talking about 7k Bitcoin, and it scares people, doesn't it? It scares people, 7k Bitcoin. And so naturally people, without really knowing what to do, they will just take shorts and hope that the information they read was correct. That's kind of our situation now with Bitcoin. Yeah. And the reality is, and this is just the reality, whether people are willing to accept it or not is irrelevant, really. Bitcoin determines everything. Yeah, Bitcoin determines literally everything until a potential utopian future where crypto is so big and so massive that it's less dependent on, say, specifically Bitcoin, and maybe in that future you'll have 4 or 5, maybe 10 massive mega coins which will kind of help each other. So it won't just be Bitcoin that's pushing and pulling the market. It might be in the future you might see 10 or 5 like big high market cap tokens, and so therefore if one is lagging it doesn't really matter. So like it's kind of like with the stock markets now, you know, if Apple has a bad day, it doesn't really matter if Microsoft is having a good day. They kind of counteract each other when it comes to the markets and performance across the markets. In the future we may see that, you know, right now Bitcoin is way ahead and is leading the pack, and so in the future if you get a situation where you do get a handful of bigger market cap tokens on par with Bitcoin, then we'll see less of this behavior where Bitcoin falls, Bitcoin's in trouble, the whole market crashes. So that's kind of where we're at now. We're still early in that respect. That's kind of why certain coins are dumping and whatever. And the thing is that most tokens are quite low liquid, and people think everything's liquid, but it's not. You know, Bitcoin is liquid to a point as well, but you know, if you buy and sell 20 million, you can move dollars, you can move the price 1%, whatever, 0.5%. It's still relatively speaking illiquid in that sense. Yeah, in context of the overall market cap, in context of the overall value, yeah, it's still relatively speaking illiquid, relatively. And so naturally when people panic, they market sell, and that doesn't have a reflection of the true value. All it is just it's just that there aren't enough orders, and therefore it's relatively illiquid. And if you get a massive move of sentiment where people are suddenly bearish and they all sell at the same time, there's just not enough liquidity to support that kind of volume in either direction. That's why people love crypto, because they can move quite a lot just based on the market changing sentiment and flipping from bearish to bullish. If suddenly everyone became bullish and they start buying, then you will be up in high prices without any trouble at all. Okay, so that's kind of the description of where we're at right now, and it's anyone's guess what's going to happen. No one can really predict how the market's going to behave and what we're going to have. I think it's a tricky one, but I think because so many people have been bearish, I kind of counter trend the people's sentiments. And I was looking at this yesterday, the Fig Read Index, to try and see if there was any kind of clues here. And ideally what you want to do is you want to buy fear. That's really what needs to happen. It's not working, is it? It's the same one. Let's try that one. I don't know. So yesterday we were at 64, today we're at 60, so it's quite a lagging indicator. 2 days ago we were at 74, so I was quite surprised by that, and now we're at 60. And can I have a look at the historic data here? Does it show me? Go to max. You see in the peak of the bull market last time round, we were up in the 90s. Yeah, so when is a good time to sell? The 90s. That's basically what I'm getting from this this index. Once you hit into 90s, you know, you've got to be careful. You've got to be that could be the peak. And here you can see that in August, in that first rally, Bitcoin peaked to about 80, 76, 80. Then it dropped all the way down to 47, 39, whatever. And it pumped all the way back up to 90. We haven't had similar price action or behavior in this. And our lowest, the last time we were at the lows here was May. And then we got down to 54. And that's the lowest we've got. And then before then, it was September. So this is potentially the lowest for a while at 60. And I think a lot of people would agree that once you hit fear, that would be a good time to buy. We're still not there yet, so I'm not quite sure. Like I am thinking, so that's kind of like, and the thing is that if we do go down now, then we are looking for a prolonged correction. So there will be a lot of fear in the market, because you almost want to go up and correct. You don't really want to go down and correct. That's the thing. Let me just quickly have a glimpse of Bitcoin dominance to see what that's saying. Had a little bearish harmonic here. It's so close, yeah, but so far away. So far away from the area of interest. It's hard to tell how we're going to get there. But effectively, it can either be one of two things on Bitcoin. We can either pump or we can dump. That's the only two ways that Bitcoin dominance is going to go up. If we start pumping now and we take out these highs, then surely Bitcoin dominance will go up, and then we're going to start pumping, aren't we? We're going to start pumping, right? And if we don't get past 76 and we reject, potentially also Bitcoin dominance could go up. So we could be in very similar situations with completely different types of price action. And just bear in mind that we don't invalidate this count unless we take out the low here. And so even if the price was to go down here somewhere, find support and pump from here, and in my mind, I'm inclined to think this is the right way. This is the right, I think going down makes more sense than going up. But I think the danger of going up is this, yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think if you flip 67 into support, you would buy that. You'd buy that as a sign of strength. And getting back above this trend line, getting back into this kind of range in this market structure. If that was to happen, you could buy that easily. That wouldn't be a problem, would it? You're back into the range, this deviation from the range. You've bounced from an area of interest, an area of demand rather, and you've shown strength because you've been able to flip the point of control into support. So where is the point of control? This is what you're looking for, aren't you? Hold on. Volume levels. There's the point of control. Okay. You flip that point of control back into support. As long as you don't lose it again, then that's a sign of strength. You could buy that, and we probably will see a nice pump rally. It is, people have said it's looking like a inverse head and shoulders here, potentially. It is, with some kind of neckline like that. It definitely is, yeah. And if I don't like these patterns in the highs, because they're bottom reversal patterns. They're not continuation patterns, or so when you see these inverse head and shoulders at the highs, I'm very cautious. I'm not, because everyone's seeing it, and therefore I'm cautious, right? And because I know it's a bottoming reversal pattern, it makes me even more cautious, because I don't necessarily think it will play out the way people think. in, as opposed to if I saw it at the bottom of a price action here. So this, I'm not really fond of this higher time frame pattern. If this higher time frame pattern plays off, then our target is probably the extent of the pivot to the neckline. Yeah. And so in that context, oh, where did it go? It vanished. In that context, can I copy that? Don't know how. All right, whatever. In that context, you're looking at, don't know how to copy that. Don't know how to copy it. Anyway, I'll just do it using this. Something like that. It's quite a large mover. It's quite a large move. I'm not fond of this in essentials. I've not been fond of certain things in the past, and it still plays out correctly. Two, three, four, five. A, B, C, A, B, C. A, B, C, A, B, C. Let me see how I did this. I can't remember. It's the correction. Was that wrong? See how I did this. I can't remember. Why did I do it to there? W. What's that one? Okay, this is how I did it. I can remember. So we've got the 5 ending there. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. So I did it. A, B, C, A, B, C, 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 A, B, C, A, B, C. This is not impulsive right now, okay? There's a little bit of kind of volume coming in towards the end of this move. It's not very impulsive at the moment, okay? Don't think that this is impulsive. It's when you're looking at impulsive moves, yeah, you're looking at this, yeah. These are impulsive. See that? You want to see just market buying, non-stop market buying. That's what you want to look for when you're looking for impulsive moves. I'm not seeing crazy impulsiveness here. I'm seeing a little bit of kind of, that's impulsive there, that these two candles are, but in as a whole, I'm not seeing like, what is that impulsive? Yeah, it's impulsive, but it's not, it still looks quite corrective to me at the moment. So I'm just kind of measuring this out. I don't know, I think potentially we could come into the point of control and find resistance. Yeah. For another move down. And then the caveat would be to flip it into support. Okay. And that's what I want to see. So if we suddenly get something else, then whatever happens, I want to flip 67k into support. There's no point buying at 66,200 when your biggest resistance is at 67k. Yeah. And so actually what you're thinking about doing now is a short on a rejection of the point of control. We get a rejection of the point of control if it's confirmed as resistance again. And so just mark the point of control on your charts. See, we've had a reaction the first time here, and we haven't had much of a sell-off. It was big enough. Do we get another reaction? Do we get another test to reject? Now, even though that I wasn't looking at an inverse head and shoulders higher up, I am seeing an inversion head and shoulders here. This is on a lower time frame. This is better because if we do go into the point of control and test it, could we make a right shoulder here? This is better because it's at the bottom. It is a bottoming pattern, and so in the context of this down move, yeah, if you see an inverse head and shoulders here, that would make sense. That's kind of what you want to see to form a bottom. And so in this context, I think this would make sense if this played out correctly. And obviously the next kind of thing that would need to happen here is for some kind of test again on the point of control. It'll be easy if it took out the highs and had a swing failure. That would be easy. It would be a lot more bearish if we had a lower high and couldn't get above the highs and had a rejection. Okay, if we took out the highs, then potentially we could be looking at some kind of bottoming pattern here on this kind of lower time frame. And I think it's, you know, you've got this daily level here as well. We haven't actually tapped it. We've had a little bit of a front run here. You can see that. And so I'd like to see the point of control tested. And whatever happens, you're not going to buy until you see a back test on the other side of the point of control. The point of control is really the line in the sand at 67k. Yeah. You could speculatively long it if we start closing above it. But just be aware that your invalidation has to be tight, because if we start coming back underneath it, then it could be a rejection. It could be rejecting. Yeah? So just bear that in mind. I think the point of control is the line in the sand here in the context of this current price action. Yeah, I'm not 100% about this correction. Yeah, I've counted it correctly potentially to here. This latest one seems to be right, doesn't it? Because I had it marked out WXY, like some kind of symmetrical move here, and it seems to be doing what I'm imagining, what I've kind of contemplated. Can this just fall into the daily level here and miss and be front run? Can the point of control be front run here? It's unlikely, but I mean, it's always possible, or just a fake out. I don't know. And time based, let me just calculate the time as well. Let me see where I did this one. Let's see. Let me delete that now because I'm not sure what that relates to. Let me delete. Get rid of that as well. Have it ending on a 1-to-1 on that move would be Friday evening, late night. So I do wonder. I mean, if this is the question, I do wonder what's going to happen, because we're coming into resistance, and we still have a lot of time to go between now and the 1-to-1 of this kind of zigzag here. And obviously the 618 comes in today in the evening. So it's either today in the evening or tomorrow in the evening. Could this top out here at the point of control? If that happens and we have a rejection here, then this is the move, right? That is the move. And that will take us down to, and you just got to be aware of these moves because they're always a little bit more aggressive than people think. Yeah. So while we have support levels above us, the weekly level, some kind of golden pocket, I think. Yeah, you see that? It's quite a strong confluence here with a swing failure here. You just got to be aware that sometimes the price can over move to the downside when it starts getting trending down, and it can get really aggressive. Okay, but in effect, if we do get a rejection from the point of control, that's what I'm looking for. From there to there to there. Still doesn't invalidate our first count. Still doesn't invalidate this wave here, this wave. And so actually that could just be a nice zigzag for an explosive move to the upside too from here. That will pretty much put people, could catch people off guard, because once you lose this area, everyone is going to be really bearish. Yeah. And with the right reaction in this area of interest, it's a monthly level, weekly level, daily level, golden pocket. There's a lot of things going on here. And with the right reaction, it would still be fine because this is the wave one. You're just doing a zigzag down into an area of interest of high confluence for potentially the next wave. Yeah. You've lost this trend, this wave free trend line. Sure. Okay, but maybe this is what's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe this is going to throw people off guard. Whatever happens here, I think it will be a good buy opportunity, because however this zigzag plays out, if we do go down like this, then the next zig, whatever happens, the next zig is going to be upwards. It's going to be an upward zigzag. So it doesn't really matter. This is going to be a good buy zone regardless. Yeah, because whatever happens, if you're correcting, you could correct like that, and if you're impulsing, well, you're just going to impulse. So at the same place at the same time, you're going to get a lot of people buying here in this area. If we go up to the point of control, reject and go down, that's kind of what I would be looking for next. Obviously, I'll be looking to see a rejection on the point of control. If I see it, I see a reaction. Don't have to catch the point. You don't have to be early. Yeah, if you see a rejection, you'll see it. Yeah, if you see a rejection, if you see the prices going up into point of control, rejecting and starting to come down, lose the daily level, you can short that. Go up into the point of control, reject, come back underneath the daily level, you can short that. That would be pretty easy to short. It wouldn't be difficult. Reject the point of control, lose the daily level. You can short that all the way down to here effectively. That's what you don't want to catch it early. You want to let the price react. You want to let the price guide you. If you see the price is rejecting and you see we lose the daily level next, that's a sign of weakness. And so you would short that. And then your target will be the completion of this zigzag through to the beginning of the month, actually, July. That's kind of lands on time. And that's kind of will be the next move potentially if we get a rejection here. If we don't get a rejection here, so let me just kind of contemplate this now. Long position. Short part and long GP. Okay, so this is the other question. If we don't get a rejection of point of control, so in essence, you're scrapping this combo wave, right? And here we're looking at something a little bit more complicated, not something that anyone can really predict. Whatever happens, you've got the point of control here. So you effectively, what you need to see is you'd need to see the price move up, probably take out this pivot here, these highs. And then just find support on the point of control. You want to see that. You need to see the price find support. Confirmation would be whatever high we've taken, we put in to go back up. That would be your confirmation. That's how you're going to be 100% sure that the point of control has held the support. Obviously it's lagging in that context, but I think if you do, I mean, you don't need to take out the highs. That's the other thing. But I think it would be weird not to if the price gets above the point of control. So that's why I'm saying you probably take out the highs. And then the other thing to bear in mind is if you do go up there and you take out the highs, you could squeeze as well. You could get a squeeze, and you just got to bear that in mind. But whatever happens, I think as soon as you get a little back test on the point of control, that will be your entry, just simply because the invalidation is so tight. Once you reclaim it, you're expecting volume to come in. You're not expecting people. Once you reclaim the point of control, that's considered a sign of strength, and that's kind of what you want. You want to see a sign of strength, and then you want to see an impulsive move. And I think that's really important for people to be expecting that. If you reclaim the point of control as a sign of strength, you have to see an impulse next. We want to see an impulsive move. It could start with a squeeze. Yeah. So the first step in this kind of idea, reclaim the point of control. Then you want to squeeze. Okay. Once you get a squeeze, you're going to see fast moving prices. It's going to look impulsive. That's the move you want to be in. And if the market starts to rally that, then we could see a continuation. Yeah, we could start pumping, right? It all begins with reclaiming the point of control. It certainly doesn't begin down here, because this isn't a sign of strength yet. This is just a normal reaction at a place where the price there's a lot of demand here because of the liquidity, not enough supply, and so we have a little bit of a squeeze up. But the point of control is really important, because people are looking to sell. That's any big players looking to sell the point of control. That's going to be the play. What you have to be aware of here in this context, you have to be very careful. Okay, what we could potentially also see is a swing failure of these highs, but still a rejection. So it goes up, you have a rejection here, swing failure, and the price just comes right back. So it's like a fake out, isn't it? It's like the price pumps, takes out that high, but actually falls right back underneath the point of control for a fake out above the point of control. So you just got to be aware of that. So what you really need to see is a back test on the point of control. Until you see that back test where people are actually looking to buy the point of control as support, then you have to be very careful about longing. And also, especially if you see a swing failure of these highs, you got to be careful. Okay, that could easily complete this corrective idea that I have for continuation of this, and so you have to be careful, right? But effectively, what you want to see for bullishness is a flip of the point of control into support, and then an impulsive move. It has to be impulsive. Okay, so maybe in the context here, maybe it would be better to not take out the high in the first instance. If we can slowly get ourselves above it and then squeeze, yeah, maybe that would make more sense. But I mean, no one can make that happen. So all in all, I think we're in a really decisive moment, and 67k is key. All right, that's where we are. No one can predict what's going to happen. I obviously posted this on. He's got this higher time frame harmonic. It's actually a bearish harmonic. It requires us to hold here, which we potentially have, and it also requires some kind of move up to about 80. He's got 82k at the 1.414 extension of something. Okay, it would have to happen quite soon as well. It would have to happen basically by the end of the month for a down move. I'm not sure about this, to be honest with you. I'm not very sure. It's interesting idea. He's saying he's leaning towards all-time highs, but he accepts that the price can break down. I think exactly the same. I think we could have one of both. I don't think if we go to all-time highs in the way that he's suggesting that we're just going to have a rejection like that. No one knows, but because he's saying it's going to come all the way back down to 48k. Look at that. Effectively in such a short time. Basically in July, he's basically saying in a space of 2 weeks, we're going to go from 82k down to 48k. So it's effectively just a pump and dump. Take out the liquidity from the highs. I don't know why 82k. I'm not sure why 82k. I don't know. So I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure. But I do like the idea. Right? Has he posted anything else? Let's have a look. Yeah, so he's still quite bullish here. He's in longs. What does he say? Not really much to say here, just a waiting game. We either break out or we don't. Both BTC and coming off some big local bullish divs. I said, I don't think it's unreasonable to assume that we could rip through all these highs pretty quickly if we break out, squeezing out short. So I'm not shorting my levels. Of course, I can be wrong. So if you have other plans, I always think it's best to trade your own ideas. Okay. So I think, so he's basically saying he's not going to just short blindly, which is smart. And it kind of goes to what I'm saying here. You wouldn't just short the point of control. You'd wait for a rejection of the point of control. If you take out the highs and reject, it's a better confirmation. So this is how you would short. You'd let the price go high as possible. And if you take out the highs, even better. Lose the point of control. And then lose this daily level. I think losing this daily level will be critical, because that will be after you reject from the highs and you lose the daily level. You could short that. Then you could short. You wouldn't necessarily even need a high invalidation, a wide invalidation, because if you go up and you reject, I think by then no one's going to be buying, everyone's going to be selling, and so you can just catch it before the price starts to drop rapidly. Yeah. It's basically you just want to catch it as it's about to drop. And so losing that daily level will be the last step before the price starts to descend rapidly. Yeah. And so you don't necessarily have to wait to catch the highs with a short and hope for the best. You could just wait. You could just wait for us to reclaim, reject, and then lose. And I think it'll be a lot safer. And in the context of a potential move down to here, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if you come in at the point of control or the daily level. Yeah, you still have a big move to the downside. It doesn't really matter. See, 7% down. And then obviously to go up, would you long here? No, you could, but you wouldn't because you're longing into resistance. And so again, what you'd be looking for is a reclaim. So in the context of where the price is now, you're just waiting for a sign of strength. A sign of strength here would be to successfully reclaim and backtest the point of control as support. And if you see that, then you can long. Yeah. And if you long and you get stopped out because the price rejects higher up and then it just loses the point of control, then you can just flip back to a short. And that's it. You'll lose a long, but you'll be on a good short. And it's fine. This is how it works. You know, you long strength, but then you short weakness. And so if you see strength, you'll be looking for a long. But then if you see weakness immediately after you see a bit of strength, then actually the strength was a little bit of some kind of fake out, some kind of trap, whatever. And then you can just short that. You wouldn't really get too emotionally attached to that trade, just simply because we're at a really important area, and it'd be quite easy to see strength and weakness in the context of where we are now. If this is impulsive, then this corrective Y is incorrect. If this is corrective, then I'll still be looking for a corrective Y for a continuation to the downside. Yeah. Is this impulsive or not? I'm not. I don't think so. I really don't think so. We're getting some short squeezes here. Are we getting follow through? Not really. Not really getting follow through here. You see that? And I think if there's going to be any kind of impulsive move, it's going to be if and when we reclaim the point of control into support, 67k. So just mark that down. 67k is key. All right. Up till then, there's nothing really to do. Just watch the charts and see what happens. That's kind of where we're at now with the price. We can go either way. Okay, I don't really care which way we go, to be honest with you. I'm not fussed. We go up or down. I'm not in any trades right now anyway, so I was in a short. I was stopped out. It's fine. Just didn't, you know, you take your profit, you get stopped out, you move on to the next trade. And it kind of brings me to what I want to say now, and that is that obviously yesterday, I don't know if people noticed, but yesterday some idiot was on my stream. He was calling me names. He called me a noob, and I got pretty defensive and aggressive towards him, just simply because I think it's bad behavior that someone should come to someone else's stream home effectively and start being abusive and rude. Okay, but he doesn't need to watch me. No one needs to watch me if they don't want to. You don't have to watch my streams. And in everything that I do, I'm trying to give both sides of the argument. I'm trying to give the bullish case and the bearish case, right? I evaluate my ideas mainly based on liquidity levels, volume levels, and higher time frame levels, and obviously fib levels, and that's it really. And so in terms of calling, you know, am I a noob, it's quite offensive really, because I think I've been quite good with at least 50% of my analysis, and probably more. Yeah, and I'm not hiding away from the world. I'm here putting my neck out, you know, risking everything, effectively risking my reputation by making predictions which may or may not happen. But ultimately, the price can do whatever it wants, and I've always said that the price can go up, the price can go down, and even though you've got the most amazing trade plan and trading idea, the price can ignore it. Yeah, so even though the point of control should resist the price here, the price can easily, for no reason at all, do that. Yeah, and in the same way, if the price is coming down here and it should find support, the price can ignore it and continue. Yeah, and so naturally, the most important thing to do when you're looking to see what's happening with the price is to see the reaction. Yeah, you have to see the reaction first. You're not trading hoping for the best. You wait for the reaction, then you have an invalidation, then you take the trade, you risk your 0.5% or 1% of your trading portfolio, and as soon as you're in profit, as soon as you hit your first level of target, which shouldn't be too far away, it should literally be the first support or resistance level in the way of the price, you will take profit and you'll protect the rest of your trade, and it'll be a risk-free trade. And that's basically how you trade. So if there's anyone else telling you something else, then they're wrong. This is the way you trade. And if people are looking to trade, that's how you do it. You risk 0.5%, you risk 1%, you have an invalidation, that's when you're wrong, and you take the trade, you don't hesitate, and as soon as you hit your first support or resistance level in the way of the price, usually it's the VWAP, then you will take profit, and taking that profit will protect the rest of your trade. The rest of your trade, you can set it to break even, or you can leave the invalidation where it is, but whatever happens after you take your first take profit, you should not lose that trade. That's how you trade. And trading is about consistency. It's about consistently risking the same amount, and it's about consistently taking profits at the first level of resistance support. That's how you do it, right? So call me a noob if you want. I'm not teaching people how to trade. I'm teaching people how to analyze. Okay. I'm not here to tell you when to buy, how to buy, how much to sell. None of this is financial advice. Primarily what I'm trying to teach people is analysis, is how to analyze the charts, and also an explanation of why the price moves the way it does, and good places that people can buy or sell because of the confluence of support or resistance. That's literally it. I'm not telling people how to trade, how to buy, how to sell. I'm not in charge of other people's finances. At the end of the day, risk management is critical to success in investing or trading. And sometimes we gamble a little bit more than we should. Sometimes we don't gamble enough. But ultimately, everyone is responsible for themselves, and you can't blame anyone else for your own mistakes. Okay, regardless of regardless of whether, regardless of what someone else said, whether they were right or wrong. So if I'm wrong and you listen to me, it's your fault. Yeah, literally, it's your fault. If I'm wrong and you listen to me, it's your fault. Yeah. Why? Because everyone is an independent person, and they had to make their own decisions. You don't have to listen to me. Yeah, you don't have to listen to what I'm saying. You don't have to watch me. Yeah, you have to balance what I'm saying with your own opinion and with your own analysis, and also with the analysis that you might hear across the net, across Twitter, whatever, and then come to your own decisions. And ultimately, you're responsible for your own financial state. Okay, that's basically it. If people are not able to take responsibility for their own finances in this context, then they're at fault. Okay, not the people that they're listening to. We've all made that mistake. I've made that mistake too. I used to listen to people and they were saying certain things in the past, and it all came out to be wrong, and I lost money. It wasn't their fault, it was my fault, because I knew they were wrong, but I still listened to them. Okay, and I allowed their confidence to influence my my sentiment or my bias at the time. And it was basically, I'll show you actually, because I'll explain to you exactly what was happening in the previous bull market, and I'll tell you what happened. I don't care. I'm not ashamed. It's part of my journey, and actually I think it makes me a better person, to experience that, and also to try and learn from that experience. So basically it was here in the previous bull market. Okay, and there was this crypto influencer, and he was saying that he was showing me this chart, all the people that followed in this chart, saying Bitcoin is going to go up to multiple hundreds, and I wasn't very experienced. I didn't really know, and I was up in a lot of profit. Okay, and he was saying, no, we're going to go higher, we're going to go higher. Okay, we're going to go higher, we're going to go higher. And effectively what happened, it was here. I remember it was here. Effectively what happened was, and basically he was saying that 58k was cheap because Bitcoin was going to be 100k or 110k. So he was basically getting people to leverage, and he was saying lightly leverage, and obviously the greed takes over. And then he was saying that this was a V-shaped recovery, right? And obviously now I can tell you that that's definitely not a V-shaped recovery. Okay, so obviously I've gone away and done my own research and got educated. For this to be a V-shaped recovery, that price has to take out that high. You have to take out that high. This can't be a V-shaped recovery if you don't take out the high. So he was saying this was a V-shaped recovery. He's saying it looks V-shape-ish to me. There's plenty of opportunities to exit here, seeing weakness in the price, and I could see it was weak, and I didn't do nothing because of this influencer telling me it was going to go higher. And even after this first drop here at 50k, I was in profit, and I was very bearish here. I was extremely bearish. I thought the price was going to drop. I did nothing because of this influencer. I was expecting a V. He was talking about V-shaped recovery. He was insistent on V-shaped recoveries. So that's why I don't trust V-shaped recoveries anymore. Yeah, just because of that one experience, I don't trust them. at all. I don't like him. And I had a chance to exit here, 2 days to exit, didn't exit, and I got burned, right, in this drop. Should have shorted, actually. In hindsight, would have been a great short. So it just, you know, whose fault is that? It's my fault. I knew it was bearish. I wanted to sell. I wanted to exit, and I didn't because I was listening to this influencer. He was obviously misleading the people because he wasn't giving good analysis, and he was just insistent about higher prices and cheap 58k being cheap Bitcoin. But the reality was that the price action was bearish. It took out this low, had a massive sell, had 2 green daily candles looking quite bearish, and then it just dropped. Even after the first drop, didn't sell until you finally lose your money. You've got to be careful with what other people say. You've got to make your own decisions. Yeah, you've got to make your own analysis. So primarily what I'm doing is just educating, and then beyond that, I'm giving points of view of what needs to happen, what could happen for bullishness and what could happen for bearishness, right? In the context of where we are now, 67k is the line in the sand. If we don't cross 67k in a convincing manner with a back test, then we're probably going down. Okay, if we can back test and flip 67k into support, then I'll be looking for an impulsive move to the upside, and I don't want to miss that. Okay, so it's a really important area for people to be aware of. Okay, already we're seeing a little bit of a rejection, front run from the daily level. I don't think it's ready to reject yet. I think it would be nice to just tap it and tap the point of control, and then maybe we have a short entry potential. I'll be looking for a short, and I'm looking for it to happen on time potentially, which would be sometime tomorrow evening, Friday evening. I'm looking to short tomorrow evening. That would be nice if we get into a nice short on Friday evening and the price rejects from the point of control on the daily level for a weekend of doom. That would be really nice to see, wouldn't it? Okay, so in the meantime, I'm kind of just really patient, just waiting, watching, not really in trades, just seeing what happens. There's not really much money to be made here at the moment because the price is slowly edging up to resistance. And so you're just waiting for a reaction, either a rejection or a reclaim. Okay, that's basically Bitcoin right now. There's nothing more to say. There's nothing really more to say about Bitcoin at the moment. Okay, we just have to see what happens. We're at a very important place. That's all that I can say. Right. Let me have a look at some other things quickly before I go on to TRVL. You see USDT. Oh, what is that? Yeah, your USDT dominance. It's weird it hasn't hit the value area low, a high. Let me just update this volume data just in case it's different. I'll take it all the way. David's saying ignore those idiots. No, of course I ignore them, but don't come into my stream and start saying shit. I'm going to react. I'm going to be like the point of control. I'm going to react. Yeah, I did block him. An idiot. So you can see we've actually had a reaction. Look, that's a reaction from the value area high. Point of control is no change. Value area high is slightly higher. And you've got that high volume node. Got a high volume node here as well, right up there. It's quite a lot of volume here. In this context, this is actually quite bullish for Bitcoin because we're coming back into resistance here on the USDT dominance. Yeah. For bearishness for Bitcoin would be this going above there and flipping it and continuing. Yeah, that would be bearishness. And then bullishness here would just be a clear rejection, which we're experiencing a little bit of rejection now, and continuation down. It's hard to tell what's going to happen, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. Anything can happen, to be honest with you. We are going up or down, pro analysis. We are into resistance on USDTD, yeah. But the price keeps on pushing up, and if there's, it could flip the value. If Bitcoin wants to go down, it could flip the value area high into support here to go up. How far will it go up? I don't really know. How far it will go up? So one. Golden pocket. Could it go up to go back down? That would make sense because you are into the neckline of the structure here as well. See that? There's a little bit of a structure that was, this is a little bit of a breakdown. Could we go up to test the neckline for a rejection? That would be Bitcoin going down to go up. I don't know, I am inclined for this movement, to be honest with you. I think it could make sense. Not sure. Can't really tell. Sorry. If I can't tell, I can't tell. It is what it is. I can't make it up. Again, here I don't know what's going on here, but I just want it to go up a little bit more. Okay. And it's really annoying because people you're tempted to preempt and say, well, it's close enough, and then all you have to do is just wait because it will actually hit that area. I think it'd be really weird not to hit that area, but in any case, you want it to either hit that area or you want it to kind of lose this point of control, don't you? Either way, that's what needs to happen. You either need to go up into resistance or you need to fall underneath support, lose support. Yeah. And so right now with market, the BTC dominance, again, it's in a little bit of a weird place. It's kind of stuck between higher prices, which we're expecting a rejection, or lower prices, which is already a rejection, you know. So we're expecting a rejection of sorts, but we just don't know where or when it's going to happen. Okay, that's kind of, and that's going to signify some kind of alt market season, alt explosion. So we're still looking at that. Oops, not delete that. ETH BTC. Well, that's nice. It's fallen underneath this pivot and it's come right back above, and you've back tested that level. So that's a little bit of strength following weakness, and we're above the local point of control now. Yeah. So there's a little bit of strength here with ETH against Bitcoin. The news is having a little bit of an impact on the price action here. Down to the 382, we're back above the 236. It's quite bullish, huh? This is quite bullish. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And do we, again, we're looking for some kind of bottoming pattern here, aren't we? So we have to see how that plays out. The big problem with ETH BTC is obviously the momentum of the market is pretty miserable. It's to the downside. So that's that's not gonna, the price doesn't really ignore that. But in any case, I think it's looking quite buoyant here. So maybe we will start to go up. It's hard to tell. You look at the monthly 50 moving average, this is quite this is really the moving average that matters. So when it comes to the momentum of the market, the higher the time frame, the better. And when you're looking at the Ethereum, Bitcoin higher time frame moving averages, what can you see? You can see the 50 moving average. It's kind of just edging upwards. Yeah, the price fell underneath it, back at it. This is looking quite strong, actually, isn't it? It's not looking weak at all. You fell underneath, you went down, you just took the liquidity from the low, and now we're right back at it. A little black flip, and then off we go, isn't it? That's kind of what you'd potentially expect if we're able to flip that monthly 50 moving average into support. We've had a lot of time, many months, trying to reject higher prices, but we've also rejected lower prices, and we're back in the highs. So I think this is actually quite bullish, and that's a bullish month. Look at that swing fade of the lows. That's a bullish engulfing candle in the monthly time frame on ETH BTC, isn't it? So that's quite a bullish reversal here happening. This is the pullback. This is the test. This is a good setup for alts right now for ETH. Yeah, it looks quite good the way I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the volume though. Look. It's pretty good volume. Oh, I'm showing XO. So I've done all of that and I'm showing XO. Wonderful. That sucks. I see computers are not smart. I need AI to tell me what's going on. Right. So let me just so this is ETH BTC. That's the monthly 50 moving average. We've come underneath it. We're back at it. And here what you really want to see is the price just get back above the monthly 50, flip it into support, and then this is probably going to pump to highs. Yeah. So it's something to bear in mind. We lost these pivots here, and then we kind of reclaimed them and we've back tested them. So that's looking quite strong as well for ETH BTC. And you see the 3-day moving average, the 50 moving average is now flattening out, flattened out. We're back above it. So what's happening now is slowly but surely the momentum is starting to flatten out. And what's the most important momentum moving average, which is the monthly 50, is nicely still heading upwards. Yeah, that's really the one that matters. Everything else just is noise, or it moves around the bigger, higher time frame ones. So we could be ready for something here. And you look at this monthly candle, that's like a bullish reversal candle. It's completely engulfed the previous month of April. You've taken the liquidities from the low and you've closed higher. This monthly candle has come back down to that high back test. It's not looking like a nice back test. So this is looking quite a good setup for continuation to the upside, or for a reversal to the upside. This is looking quite good, actually. So just be aware of this. This is not bad. This is looking quite good. I've been quite bullish on ETH since 6 months ago, to be honest with you. I talked about how bullish ETH was against Bitcoin. My view of ETH against Bitcoin has always been the higher time frame yearly candles. Yeah. And I think these two candles are quite bullish in context of holding this yearly level as support. I mean, the price has been unable to close underneath this yearly level here 2 years in a row, and we've had a swing failure of these lows, these previous 2-year lows. This is quite a bullish arrangement of candles here in the highs. So I do think because we've back tested that yearly level 2 years in a row and held it as support, I don't see why we don't continue to go up in a very explosive way. I'm expecting that. Okay, at least to the highs, at least all the way up to the highs. From where we are now, that's like a 3x on Bitcoin. Okay, so let's just see how that plays out. And then let me go back to BTCD again, which is what I was talking about when my screen was on Exo charts. So here we're kind of, there's a little bearish harmonic that's playing out here. We either go up into our resistance or we lose the point of control. I think that's really what I'm looking for in BTCD now. Go up into resistance or lose the point of control. Okay, this is the point of control here in this local range. You lose it and then we're going down here, or we go up and then we're going down. So again, it kind of reflects where Bitcoin is at the moment, isn't it? Bitcoin can go either up or down. This could go either up or down, but either way, it does mean that whatever happens here, I think altcoins are going to start pumping soon, just simply because if we lose the point of control here, then altcoins will pump, and if we go up, we're into resistance and altcoins will pump. Okay, so we're at a really interesting point where potentially we could see a really big alt season. Okay, and a lot of altcoins have bled to death, and naturally what you'll be looking for when it comes to altcoins, ultimately, I mean, you're looking for strong altcoins. Yeah, they're the best ones to make money. And I'm not gonna like tell people not to buy TRVL, because I believe in the fundamentals of that project, the team, and I've proven the business model in my own experiences, and I've already shown that. But crypto is crypto, you know. Crypto is a very funny thing, and sometimes for no reasons that you can't explain, the price overcorrects. Yeah, sometimes it overmoves and sometimes it overcorrects. Okay, I've said this before. In the last couple of years, this down move had no reflection on the project. It was just literally the markets just behaving the way the markets do. But the value of the project was not reflected in the token price here. This token price going up here was obviously largely to do with Bitcoin, and obviously the increasing awareness of Dtravel and some like public launches of certain things, which has kind of given people a lot of bullish sentiment. And so what's happening here? So let me pull the volume up. This is Bybit. We had a big massive take profit. That's what that candle is. And now May and June is effectively as the market sentiment being a little bit bearish, people unsure about Bitcoin, and naturally what they do is they dump their alts, because in back of people's minds they see that Bitcoin's at the all-time high, and then they're worried that Bitcoin's going to dump down to like 50k or 52k or whatever. Yeah, and so because they're worried and the uncertainty of Bitcoin, naturally what they do is they scale back on their altcoins, and they in a token like TRVL, where relatively speaking the volume is low and the volume is and the market is liquid, relatively speaking, so they'll have the market sell, and that pushes the price down. Often that price adjustment is overextended beyond the actual value. Okay, that's because it's a liquid. Yeah, the higher the price goes up, the more volume we get, the more liquid this becomes. Yeah, so when people are looking at this project now, they're looking at a 3.69 cent token. Okay, and then what is the market cap of TRVL? Let me have a look. Yeah, so 11.3 million market. Fully diluted would be with all the tokens and circulations. You can ignore that. Really, that's the market cap. The volume's quite good. The volume's still quite good. $419,000, 24-hour trading volume. So we have been seeing increasing in volume. You see that over the last. It's quite surprising because overall our volume has been increasing. Yeah, so you can tell that there's interest in this token. You can tell because the volume is increasing. And in a situation like this, what's happening is that, of course, I had hoped that we would hold certain levels and we haven't been able to do that. And what's happening now is that the market uncertainty is causing people to dump the tokens at market. And we're getting quite high volume. I don't know where the volumes come from, to be honest with you, because look, it's all low volume, and suddenly you get this kind of, where did these tokens come from? I can't explain that. I really can't. So in this current month now, 82 million worth of volume. That's tokens. The previous month was 117 million. Okay, and then the previous month was 55. This is like buying and selling. It isn't just selling. So even though red candles signify that the price has closed lower and therefore bears are in control, effectively what you've got is a lot of buying and selling, or selling and buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. It's just happening non-stop. And the price is just trying to find more and more liquidity. So it's just giving people an opportunity to accumulate at lower prices. I think that's what the volume is. I think that's what people have done. People have set limit orders in the way of the price drop, and then just slowly the price is descending and people's orders are getting filled at key levels. Okay, until all those levels are cleared of liquidity. And eventually what will happen is there'll be an equilibrium in the price between buyers and sellers. So there'll be, right now obviously there's been more selling than buying, more sellers than buyers, and eventually you'll get to low enough where you've hit enough buy demand liquidity that the price will just settle and stop. Okay, so already right now you see on the daily chart we're getting a little bit of a reaction here underneath the value area low of Bybit. This is the Bybit value area low, and that's basically what's happening. So I had, I've got a friend who gives me a lot of hassle about TRVL. He's been telling me it's bearish for weeks, and we've been having a conversation and been having almost an argument. Yeah. Obviously I was wrong, but I could have been right. Yeah. Who knows? Like, this is the thing. It's very subjective. It's very subjective. There was a trend line that we lost, but in my mind, I don't really care about trend lines. I care about horizontal levels. So I did say this when it was happening, and I didn't, I'm not telling, at the end, this is what I'm not telling people what to do. Yeah. People have to figure it out for themselves. I'm just giving them the information. But I did say that 5.5 cents was a really important level. I've said that so many times in the past. 5.5 cents. Yeah. So I don't know how people can just somehow pretend that they didn't hear that if they've listened to me, because I've said 5.5 cents is an important level. When we lost it, I said that we haven't back tested it yet. Okay, so I'd like to see a back test first before that would confirm a support level has turned into resistance. Yeah. When we did back test it and we confirmed it as resistance, I actually said in the stream we back tested the 5.5 cents. Yeah. Did I sell? No. Should I have sold? Well, maybe I should have. Maybe I wouldn't have been a noob if I had sold, and then I could just go loads. But why would I be doing that? I'm not here to sell TRVL for the duration of the bull market. I'm here to accumulate TRVL for the duration. I've told people my higher time frame strategy when it comes to TRVL. Yeah, I'm not emotional about this at all. I'm going to accumulate as much as I can for the duration of the bull market, and I'm going to sell into euphoria, which will come right at the peak of the end, okay, of the market cycle. It will happen, and no one expects it no one expects it, and everyone doubts it until it happens. Okay, you just have to be patient. Just have to be patient. And so while some people can buy and sell and try and accumulate more, I don't need to do that, because I've told people in the past, and I'll tell you again, that I'm not all in crypto. you know, TRVL in context of my investments, it's a small portion, and I'll be looking to buy more. Okay, so I'm not really fussed about selling here at the lows. Certainly not under 9 cents. I've already said that to people. I'm not selling under 9 cents. Okay, because in my mind, in the future, 9 cents is going to be a really important SR flip. It's a little bit higher than that line. In the future, it'll be a really important SR flip, and in the future, anything bought underneath 9 cents will probably be safe. Yeah, because it's a big SR flip. If the price gets up above 9 cents, then you flip to major level from resistance, and major level from resistance into support. So in my mind, in my imagination, accumulation underneath 9 cents is an opportunity, and I'm not looking to sell that opportunity. Yeah, even though I could, I'm not looking to do that. The reason why I'm not looking to do that is because I'm looking to buy more. So it doesn't make any sense. Like, I wasn't even fully positioned in to begin with. Yeah, I was watching the prices go up. I was like thinking to myself, I need to buy more, but I'm waiting for pullbacks. I wasn't thinking to myself, I'm going to sell to buy more. Yeah, and part of the reason why is because I'm looking for higher. I've always said that I'm looking for higher prices, right? I think the project is bullish enough with all the things that I've heard that are happening. I don't know why I'm not even thinking about selling right now. Okay. And certainly not before an exchange launch, which I'm fully expecting. Like, why would I sell? People want to do what they want to do. Like, I'm not really fussed. People want to sell and buy. That's good, actually. That's a good thing, because we need volume. Yeah, so if you want to sell and buy and sell and buy and buy and sell, you're welcome. You know, that's a good thing, because we need more volume. So if we can increase the volume, then it's just going to make it easier to get on exchanges. And so I totally advocate for people to buy and sell. Do it. Increase the volume. Yeah, if you feel like we're at a good level, point of control, whatever, and we're hitting resistance, you can sell and then buy back at the value where you can do that. Why not? It's like any other token. It's just a little bit more liquid, and it has to move a little bit further for you to be able to capture the gains, but it can move quite a lot. So just from here, from the value area low to the point of control, look, it's a 32% move. Yeah, so you flip the value area low now into support, you can have a nice 32% increase in value right up to the point of control here. So yeah, there's big moves to be had in the price action if people want to trade it, but you know, I'm not giving people advice when it comes to that. So what we have to do now of TRVL is that we just need to make a higher low, I think. Yeah, we have to try and make a higher low. I think with ETH looking I think ETH is looking quite bullish, so I'm quite optimistic that we will make a higher low. Look, this is the golden pocket right now. Let me just mark it out. You see the 50% markers on the point of control, so you can tell that these ratios are lining up nicely with other key areas of confluence. So that kind of gives you the confidence that this is moving correctly. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at Slurf too. Avpads Patolith Life has said that. This is what I want to see here. I want to see us get back into this golden pocket, which we are right now, and then do that. Yeah, back test this value area low, get back into the value area, back test it. We back test it, have a little bit of reaction here, then we can move up, and then we can probably head back up to the point of control. That's kind of what I'm looking for right now in this local price action. Yeah, and obviously the point of control is going to be big resistance. Okay, we'll have to see how what the markets are doing. Yeah, because you could get a reaction for the point of control here. Yeah, pullback. Have another attempt. Now you could be forming some kind of bottoming pattern. That's kind of what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for some kind of slightly higher time frame bottoming pattern to form here, and if not here, lower down, but somewhere, you know, like that's what I'm looking for. I'm not just looking for this. Yeah, I'm looking for something which is going to give me confidence that the selling is over. Yeah, the selling is done. Okay, the sellers have no more joy in pushing the price down. I think 3.1 cents here in this kind of range, in the middle of this range, is going to be a really strong support. Just simply because it's the point of control on 3 exchanges, not Bybit, the other 3 exchanges. But there's no reason to think that this, like, I don't know, but why do people always think the price is going down? The price can always go up. And now, if depending on Bitcoin, like, what happens if Bitcoin goes to the point of control and rejects on Friday? Well, this could go up there and then it could reject, couldn't it? And then we could head down. Okay, so you just have to bear that in mind. Bitcoin does still dictate what's happening to the market right now. And if Bitcoin suddenly sees weakness after a rejection from Bitcoin's point of control, then you could see this. But, if Bitcoin now starts pumping to all-time highs and beyond, then what's going to happen here? Well, this will probably start pumping as well, wouldn't it? It'll start going up. Okay, and that will be your missed opportunity, because if this starts pumping and we go back up to 5.5 for another test, then that's already 50% away from the current price. So somewhere here is the opportunity, and it's just about finding it and then catching it. Okay, this is not going to the all-time low. Yeah, I think I can't see it at all. I don't see it. It just has to find support somewhere in the way. Okay, and what's interesting is that, like, nothing changes. Dtravel, they're still working hard. There's still updates, pushing out updates. Look at this. 3 hours ago, new Airbnb sync is live. Any Airbnb host can now add their listings to the Dtravel network and begin earning Ttravel rewards on every peer-to-peer booking. This game-changing update is set to streamline onboarding, unlocking a seamless way for Airbnb hosts to bring their business on-chain, offer peer-to-peer crypto payments, and begin their journey towards operational sovereignty and data ownership. Read our blog post and applies to learn more. Okay, see that? So this is the link, I think. Have a look at that. And I posted it into chat. Dtravel is the Airbnb killer. Okay, just be patient. Just be patient. It's a decentralized DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, decentralized application, and it basically does what Airbnb does, but works out cheaper and for everyone. So this is the future of the short vacation rental industry, potentially, and also in the future, Dtravel can easily expand to other aspects of travel as long as it's decentralized. Okay. So literally no worries about what's happening. They're still working harder and they're still pushing the curve, and that's kind of all you really want to see. Like I keep track of other projects, and I see a lot of shit. All right, that's TRVL and Dtravel. Any questions on that? Probably not, because everyone's a bit quiet. Just have a look at this guy. He wrote similar slurf TIA. What's that? What does he mean? Similar slurf TIA. What chart is this? I can't see. Trading view. Binance. This isn't slurf. Is that TIA? Interesting. This is great consolidation. What's he saying here? This is slurf. Okay. And keep an eye on that. Slurf is a tricky one, right? It's very tricky because the fundamentals have just suddenly gone to shit. Yeah, there's no real way to put it. And it's a shame, really. It's a shame because I guess the people just aren't smart enough, I guess. Look, I asked Slurf, hey, what's the plans for Slurf? Some people are asking me, no response. He saw it, no response. And obviously I asked Ambassador, he hasn't even seen it. Okay, so look, he wrote, hey buddy, what has happened isn't good at all. We're waiting to see what they're going to do next. The point is, it doesn't breed confidence in the project when you've got the people who are kind of pushing it aren't communicative, or they're not confident about the future. You know, it doesn't give you the confidence, doesn't give me the confidence. Yeah, I think the dilemma was with this whole meme chan thing. So initially meme chan was going to create a pump fund, and then they were going to pair their tokens with Slurf, and it was backed by Slurf capital. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on, honestly. I really don't know. I even posted again because I sent some Solana to the meme chan pre-sale, and I only got like 10,800 chan, which isn't worth much, like $40. That was because I bought a Slurf NFT. Okay, so actually what I noticed, or what I realized, was that the amount that I sent to the pre-sale was put on some kind of pre-stake. Yeah, and then they announced, this is what they've announced. Okay, so on meme chan, where did they announce it? Hold on, let me have a look. Look, they talk about it a lot. So if you want information about Slurf, you can catch some of it here. Yes, we literally repleted Slurf Sol, reasoning about why he had to nuke Chan chart. Your leader Sol still holds 5% of our supply of the token. I don't know what this means. There's a lot of bickering and arguing, and like, I think eventually these guys have to just make up, kiss and make up and put it back together. That's kind of what I would do. That's my thoughts. Yeah, there's obviously been some kind of bad breakup here between meme chan and Slurf, and that's having an impact on the market, on the Slurf and all the rest. I really feel like they need to kiss and make up somehow, or just compromise. I don't know if it's going to happen. But meme chan have announced that they're like big update about protocol revenue and chan pre-sale investors. So if you sent value to the pre-sale, then you're a pre-sale investor, and so you wouldn't have received your chan. It would have it's on their site, and you can, with your wallet, you can unlock it, and it's vested. Yeah, you can retrieve a portion of the vested amount. But they've decided to say, look, this is what they've said. Look, after the recent Slurf Capital situation, we've decided to change things up a bit with how we handle our protocol revenue and chan pre-sale investors. Changes to revenue allocations. This is really important. We've decided not to use revenue to refund Slurf pre-salers, as Slurf Capital has violated. Oh, I don't know what that means. Moving forward, so they're not refunding people, basically. Moving forward, all pools will be paired with Solana and Chan. So that's going to bring value to Chan, I guess, in the future. And for Chan pre-sale investors, I'm not sure there's a difference between Chan and Slurf, I guess. But so whoever sent value to Chan directly, you're a Chan pre-sale investor. And I guess Slurf had their own kind of pre-sale. You'll get up to 80% of the protocol revenue until December 2025 dropped in your wallets, as long as you don't claim your allocation. Yeah. Dare I say that is actually really bullish for Chan if it succeeds, and for those pre-sale investors who, because right now it literally isn't worth anything. Like, I probably sent 6 Solana, and it's probably worth, in terms of Chan value, it's probably worth about $200, which is nothing. Yeah, so I've lost all my value, but who knows? December 25, that's a long time. I haven't actually withdrawn my Chan from their vesting thing, so it's all there. And look, so you never know. This could be big. It's like literally a gamble, but this is what's happening. They've had a divorce. Yeah, so Chan and Slurf have divorced, and no one really understands what's going on, because I don't. I look at this all the time, and I don't even look. Even these guys didn't answer me, because I had to get answers from other people, because I wrote a response. I really couldn't understand what was going on, and some other people responded, and I got my answer. but the communication is pretty poor. It's like literally miserable. So that's what's happened. So there's a big breakup. Okay, will they get back together? Who knows? Probably not. And eventually what that means, and there's been a negative price impact on Slurf as a result. So whereas before Slurf was potentially the beginning of a massive ecosystem and an opportunity, a real big opportunity to create something dynamic and massive and kind of substantial, now it's just another meme coin. Okay, it's quite a high volume, high market cap meme coin, but effectively Slurf is now another meme coin until I hear anything different. That's the only thing it is. Whereas before it had the potential to become something a lot bigger and therefore a lot more bullish, especially with the partnerships and integrations it was trying to do to have with kind of other projects. Right now it's literally just a meme coin and nothing else. All right, so you just treat it like that until things change or things develop. Right, I just wanted to get context on Slurf. It's not, I mean, is this bearish or bullish? Like, look at the charts. Are you feeling bearish here or bullish? Okay, well, there's a lot of things that have happened which aren't bullish, and so you can't ignore that kind of stuff. Yeah, and so let me just kind of highlight it, just looking at the charts and the candles, just to kind of give you an indication of why it's bearish at the moment. All right, I'm kind of just hiding all this stuff so I can just give my overview. So I still think it has the potential to go up in a very big way. Yeah, but fundamentally, yeah, we've lost a really important neckline here. You see that? And that has to be reclaimed. Whatever happens, that has to be reclaimed as support. And until it does, it's going to continue to look bearish. You just bear that in mind. Yeah. Realistically, there's no big longing until you can flip that level back into support. Yeah. That's for the price to go up. It has to get back above that level. And if the price can't get it back above that level, guess what? It's going to continue going down. So it might be premature to buy. It might be. Yeah, it might be a bit too early to buy. People are looking to buy. It might be premature. It depends, because if you have a long-term higher time frame dollar cost averaging strategy, you might still accumulate this. The trouble with buying here is that we don't know if the price is going to continue and how far. That's the trouble with buying underneath lost support. Yeah, it becomes very difficult to know how far the price can extend to the downside. No one really knows, and of course Bitcoin is a determining factor in how the price is going to move. Yeah, so we have a very clear, definite level of interest. Yeah, there's many levels of interest here. I think fundamentally for me, looking at the candles and the levels, I think this kind of pivot here that we've lost is critical. You can call it an SR flip, and it's already, I can see it's already been front run already, and so you just have to bear that in mind. Yeah, that level is really important. You can just mark it out. If we can get like a daily close above there, and then like a little back test, then hey, let's rock, let's go. I'm okay. I'm okay that I missed 23 cents. I'll be happy to come in at 25.5 on a back test. I'm okay with that. I'm not too worried about catching the absolute low here, because I don't know if the low is in. Yeah, and that's the reason why I'm not too worried about longing here, because you could long here and you can have the absolute low, or you can just long the first sign of strength. In this context, it could be just reclaiming that level. Okay, and so therefore I'm not interested in longing until I see that sign of strength. And then if we see a sign of strength and you're long there, you have really easy invalidation, and you're not now expecting the price to go down, you're expecting the price to go up. So that's kind of my line in the sand right now with Slurf price action. All right, it's really simple. I keep it very simple. That's the neckline. Let's get back above the neckline, and then we can at least try to go up a certain amount. Just be aware that the momentum is still to the downside. So whatever you do when you long, just be aware that you have to take profit, because the reality is, you can see here, this is the daily 50 simple moving average. You see how we've lost it. We've back tested it as resistance. It was resistance and we support, and now it's resistance. See, resistance, support, and now it's resistance. So whatever happens, however we do try to manage to get up, if we do manage to back test that, you know, you still have to take your profit. Don't just fade on taking profit simply because the momentum is still down. Okay, you could get a little relief rally, you know, take your profit. Is the absolute low in? No one knows. No one can predict that. Is this the absolute low? No one really knows. Yeah, no one knows if this is it. I don't think it is. I think, look, we've missed the 886. We're back underneath the 786, and we haven't come across it. So I actually think this is still looking quite weak. Yeah, right now. And as you saw, which I hid, I have some kind of higher time frame harmonic in play potentially, and this point here could go down or it could be higher up. So I don't know where this point can go. Effectively, it's somewhere over here or it's lower down. It's either a bat or a butterfly, and that's why I'm still kind of a little bit bearish on this. I'm not like aggressively trying to long or to buy. I'm not trying to short either, to be honest with you, because I don't like shorting extended down moves. So I'm just waiting for lower potentially, or a sign of strength. That's what I'm doing. I'm either waiting for lower or a sign of strength. Okay, and just based on this kind of pattern here, I prefer these in the highs because this is actually a bullish harmonic, isn't it? It's an M. So do you see that? It's an M. It's a bullish harmonic. I prefer them in the highs when the momentum is to the upside, because a reaction here could take us to new heights if the momentum was to the upside. At the moment, the momentum's to the downside. So even though it's bullish, all it means is that point D, you could get a bullish reaction. But in my mind, if you do get a bullish reaction, you're still taking profit. Like, it would only be bullish to the next big resistance level. It wouldn't be bullish to the point that it takes you to higher prices. Yeah, so whatever happens here, I do probably think that we could still continue to range in the lows here for a while. I'm not necessarily expecting some kind of crazy pump unless something changes with the way Slurf and Slurf Capital and this meme channel, unless that something changes there, unless they somehow able to resolve their differences, and that would be, again, it would go back, like the fundamentals would go back to bullish. If they're able to do that, then yeah, maybe then we'd see a little bit of a pump. Yeah, a news pump, a rally pump. There's no hint of that at the moment, so therefore if we do go up, it'll probably range a little bit, and effectively that will give a lot of people who are potentially trapped the opportunity to sell their tokens, and that's really what that becomes. It becomes a little bit of a relief rally for people to exit, not necessarily the pump that people are waiting for. Honestly, like, it's a shame, but this is what we're looking at right now. Unless things change, this is what we're looking at. And so for me, in the short term, this SR flip of these pivots is really important. At the moment, we can't even get above the 786. Okay, so I'll just be waiting and watching and just seeing what happens and just being patient. I do take scalps on Slurf with swing failures at the local time frame, like the 1 minute time frame. Yeah, they're pretty easy to take, and you're just scalping a little bit every time, and they're really easy to take. So what I'll be looking for lower down, it's hard with higher lows, yeah, because you almost want the swing failure. And so therefore, because you want the swing failure, you might not take the higher low. And in this context, I would prefer the swing failure. I would prefer a swing failure of this pivot here. It would be a lower low, but at least then there would be an easy entry, which would be the swing failure. You get a swing failure here, you could definitely long that. It's the all-time low. You get a swing failure, you could long that. Yeah. and potentially that could also complete some kind of harmonic here. And the timings on that, this is the daily time frame, so it's going to be a little bit here or there. Nope, don't like that. Let's do it from here. It's tricky. It's a tricky one, but by next weekend, the 1-to-1. So effectively, it's the 1-to-1 of this arm, 1-to-1. Basically, the beginning of the month, end of next weekend. And I just based on these timings, I'd like to just wait until the beginning of the next month before I I'd like to see what happens, and I'm not in a rush to do anything until then, to be honest with you. Just looking at the timings here, I'm not looking to sell, I'm not looking to buy. I'd like to see this 1-to-1 hit on this move. Yeah, it could be 1 or 2 days earlier or after. Like it's a little bit of a timed area. If I see a swing failure on time, roughly on time, I'll probably take a long there. That's kind of really what I'm interested in right now. And then the target for taking profit would be from this high to wherever the low is put in, and just some kind of fib confluence, you know, maybe right back up to that neckline again. You know, it'd be something I'll be looking to do, and then see what happens. You know, so it would be something like, and this could go up and then come down. Like it doesn't have to just go down. So don't think that just because I have a harmonic with a line going down that it has to go down. This could easily right now do this and then go right back down to hit your target. Yeah, little retracement, and then if you wherever you land, you know, you'll be looking to kind of trade it right up to the next, some kind of SR flip neckline, whatever, for a take profit. And that's, the rest could run, or the rest could, you could end up in a situation where you get this kind of whatever continuation. So we don't really know. That's the point. No one really knows what's going to happen. Yeah, so we just have to play it by ear and see what happens. I think because the momentum's been quite dreary, I do probably think that this token probably needs to range a little bit longer, and just for the momentum to go a little bit flat. Okay, that being said, this move was quite powerful to the downside. We don't have that crazy amounts of resistance. We have some green candles there, some green candles there, so you could potentially see a little bit of a fast move up if we do see a little bit of strength, but at the moment I'm not sensing it, so I'm not really like confident about up at the moment. Okay, I'm not looking to buy anytime soon. That's the point. Okay, and potentially I'd like to see this low taken. The other thing to bear in mind, and you have to kind of contemplate this, the launch price of Surf was actually 2 cents. Yeah, and because of everything that's happened with the fundamentals of the project, 2 cents is on the table if we take out this low. If we come and take out this low, that's a lower low. Yeah, and you're just in really bearish market structure now on the higher time frame to take out the low with a lower low, and potentially you could see a really ugly sell-off after that. Yeah, just bear that in mind. And you know, you just can't ignore these things. If it gets really bearish, you know, people will sell. And so where is it? Let me find it. You can't see the launch price on any other chart except on this one, on this Radium one. And if it loads, yeah, it's pretty bearish. See that? This is the Radium chart. Let me change it to the log chart. See that? You take out that low now. I don't know why we wouldn't go all the way down to the lows here. Honestly, I really don't know why that wouldn't happen. Because you take out that low, bearish market structure continues. And on the back of the everything that's happening with Slurf and the uncertainty, then you could see a really dreadful sell-off. There's no volume here, huh? There's no volume in this price action here. And, you know, so it could happen. We would, you know, look, the radium value every low is much higher. There's no volume here. You can see there's zero volume down here. So if people have spot Slurf and they start selling, it will just go down really fast. It'll go down really fast. And then it'll be down to seeing how many people have short positions open and whether they're where and when they take profit. Yeah. I don't know if that many people are shorting either. I can't tell because I haven't seen the funding rate go bullish at all. It's always been neutral or bearish. It's never been bullish. And so naturally, when you get a lot of people shorting, the funding rate will go bullish. And I haven't seen that yet. And because I haven't seen that, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, not many people are shorting. But actually, you know, in the whole of this price action of Slurf, really shorting was the most profitable trade, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Every high you could have sold and you'd be making a crap load of money. It's quite contrary to what people are doing in a bull market, which is longing. But here, shorting has been the most profitable direction of traffic. And so we're coming to a really critical point now. Do we take out that low? It's going to be pivotal really. So anyway, I am looking to long it, but only really a small kind of trade. But if we lose it, then I'll probably be thinking, let's go for a lower high and let's head down. That's market structure 101. And it's the same here. You take out that low, that's a lower low. So then the next logical step would be a lower high for continuation. Yeah. And that's it really. That's Slurf. There's nothing really more to say. There's no Elliott waves in play. There's no bullishness in play at the moment. And naturally, is this corrective? No, this isn't even corrective right now. Right now, this is a sell-off. Yeah, this is brutal. A corrective would be if we had a pump and we were correcting and we hadn't invalidated our pump. Yeah, our pump was invalidated. So we had our 5 waves here. Where was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we took out the low, invalidated the 5 waves, and there's no correction here right now. It's just literally people dumping and just getting out and just waiting to see what happens. Yeah, and not really too bothered about the price right now. Right, it's kind of what I'm seeing. And until anything changes with Slurf, and if they start getting a little bit better with the communication and their plans and accept X, Y, and Z, then maybe this could change. And if not, then let's just bottom out lower down. Yeah, and I'll be okay with that too. I'm not too worried about that. It would still look really bearish if we bottom out lower down. Yeah, because of the momentum. And so we may be looking at a token which requires multiple months to sort itself out. Yeah, and so, you know, looking at these candles, they're pretty bearish. Huh? Look at that 3-day candle. It's pretty bearish. Look at that week. It's like two weeks back to back, really bearish 2 weeks we've had on Slurf. It's a reflection of everything that we've experienced. Look at that. That's a bearish reversal. Look at that. It's like you can't get uglier than that really in terms of candle formations. It's all pretty bearish, isn't it? Look at it. Doesn't get more bearish than that. So in the context of what I'm seeing in the and the thing is, people look at these charts, no one is going to buy that. That's the other thing you have to bear in mind. Just be aware of that. No one is going to go, oh my god, this is the opportunity to buy Slurf at this price. But what people are thinking now is, I wonder how low we can go. I wonder how cheap this can get. I wonder how far down this can go. I think people will look to catch the bottom, yeah, but I think people will want to wait to see the bottom arise first. All right, And so I think my target here is 2 cents. I hate to say it, but it really is. And my target right now on Slurf is 2 cents. Okay. That's the Radium launch price. I think there's no reason why the price can't try to get down there. Okay. What was the all-time high again? Let me have a look. What is it here? Actually, let me just have a look on the market cap's quite high, 118 million. There's a lot of value in Slurf that can be easily dumped if needs be. $1.3 all-time high. Wow, $1.3. So let's go and have a look at this. $3. Let me change that to 1.3. I don't know if that's correct or not, but let's just change it to 1.3. Let's see, it's slightly lower than there. Let me just do a fib pull from there to the all-time high. Oh, that's quite good, huh? See how the fibs have kind of captured the price. We've lost this 2614, this 382. Let me just make sure this fib is correct. Let me change that to the 2 cents mark, which is the bottom. Let me just make this exactly to the point. That's looking quite good, huh? These fibs. So in the context of these fibs, I wonder if we could get a reaction off this 50% mark at 1616. Let me just kind of have a look. So this is, I mean, I'm sounding really bearish, right? Sorry. It is what it is. Let me have a look at that harmonic, actually. It'd be hard to take that trade. It'd be easy to take the swing failure, but you know, if we get a really brutal sell-off, then you know, and you see a reaction at 16.16 cents based on these fibs, they look like they're playing a part. It looks like they're working. Look, that 236, it perfectly hit the top there. Look at that. And then this 382, it looks quite good. Huh? These fibs look quite good. So maybe this one is the next target. Take out the low, head to the 50% mark. That would have to happen by next weekend for a bullish reaction to take a long. Who knows then? Who knows how far we can get back up for a little bit of a relief rally. Who knows? So that's kind of where I'm at right now with the price action. And in my mind, the first thing that needs to happen now is to reclaim these lows here, flip them into support. And just looking at this price action now, just looking at the context of these fibs, probably also higher up, this 382 would be confirmation. You know that you're looking for confirmation, aren't you? So 26.43, you reclaim that, then that's pretty, it requires strength to do that in the context of this market, and you're back into this market structure and you're back above a major level, and then maybe then things are going to turn. Okay, so until that happens, I'm not really interested in longing. I'm looking for lower. And actually, to be honest with you, why not 2 cents? Literally, why not? Why do people think this is going to go up? I think if we do get down there, get a reaction, then you could get another big sell-off, and I think people could really start dumping their tokens at market and being done with this, and you get a really dreadful pullback. And then what you'd be looking for is you'd be looking for the price to find support, and in this context what you want to see is the price to find support. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, I'm just making this up, we come all the way down to the golden pocket, right? You kind of want the price to kind of range here for a while, don't you? You want the price to find a range and start putting in volume lower down or somewhere for an extended period of time. Once you start seeing that, then you can start feeling a little bit more confident about the bottom, okay? Because right now there's nothing to tell me that the bottom is in, and we've lost major levels of support in the process. Yeah, and effectively, what is the major level of support that I'm focused on right now? Well, let's have a look. If I bring my volume area up somewhere. Well, technically we haven't lost major support. The value area low is still holding price, yeah. But this is bearish consolidation. This is consolidation on support, which is bearish, yeah. What you want, we've seen a little bit of a reaction, but effectively what's happening is that you just keep on. How many times do you test the level before it breaks? According to these candles, I can see we've tested it like multiple times, had a bullish reaction, now having a bearish rejection. So it's only so many times you can test the level before it breaks. So we are at the last kind of level of support. On its own, it'll be the Bybit value area low, and there's a bit of divergence between the volume on Bybit and on Radium. On Radium, obviously, I showed you before, the value area is much higher up, isn't it? Let me just pull it again. There you see, the value area low is at 45.66 cents on Radium. On Bybit, it's much lower. So I am looking to longer some kind of harmonic here. A swing failure would be the easy entry, slightly higher up, but potentially if we can get there by this 50% mark at 16 cents by next Saturday, Sunday, that would be well timed for the beginning of the month. And then we have to see what happens. I don't necessarily think this is going to happen. I'm just kind of making it up. That's kind of what I'm just saying. This is what you want to see if we head lower. You want to see a prolonged consolidation period where the price is no longer, is basically finding its ground, finding its floor. And then you want to see some kind of reversal pattern, some kind of bottoming pattern to form on a higher time frame before you can start to feel confident about the bottom being in. Otherwise, next month, who knows? Like, shit happens. Suddenly Slurf Capital make a big announcement, and then we're here, wherever, 16 cents, and then suddenly we get a pump for the ages, you know, and that could always happen too. Yeah, so no one really knows, and that's why you have to take your profit, so you don't lose on your trades. You know, take your profit and then look for the next trades. In this kind of context, you might be holding on a little bit longer and trying to trail the stop just in case we get some kind of, and obviously you have to gauge what's happening with the project and with Slurf and with partner. I'm sure they're sitting around the table right now trying to figure out how to pump this token. Yeah, I'm sure they are, because obviously they're financially vested in this project, but we're not in control. Yeah, someone else is, and therefore we just have to trade the charts. That's kind of my Slurf update, and we'll have to see what happens. I've been quite accurate with these kind of corrections to date, haven't I? I think I have. So I know a lot of people have been critical of me for whatever reason, and I'm trying to ignore it. It's hard to ignore it because haters are going to hate. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, yeah, when I was analyzing Slurf, I think a lot of people couldn't believe what I was doing, what I was saying. Yeah, I don't think people could believe what I was doing. Okay, Slurf next move. Which one was it? Maybe this one. I'm just gonna try and guess. No, that's TRVL. Let's see what it was. Let me see what I did with here. I've muted it. Don't need to see the this is when it was pumping, huh? Remember that? This wasn't the one. It was the one after it. This is the one. Yeah. So yeah, I calculated the 5 waves and I started plotting this corrective wave or whatever. And I think this is it. Huh? This is the one. See, look. And I was trying to give reasons as to why I was expecting this. I was trying to explain to people. I was trying to count the corrective waves. And you see here, I was targeting lower. Okay. So this was the price was here. It was at 41.5 cents, and I was aiming for lower. Yeah. So I was kind of giving people a heads up as to what I was expecting, and I was shorting here. So it wasn't really, I wasn't hiding. And as new data comes, you have to update your analysis. And so what I always say, you can't just stick to your analysis. You have to keep on analyzing, and you have to keep, that was 8 days ago. Let's have a look at 6 days ago, 8 days ago. That's 8 days ago as well. Let's have a look at that one. So that's love. I'm trying to give reasons as to why I was bearish. Look, oh, that's Bitcoin. So even Bitcoin, I was I was trying to give people a heads up on what I thought was happening. And look here, this is Slurf. See, I have it coming all the way down. Here it's pumping in the highs, and here I'm saying it's probably going lower. So I wasn't kind of hiding, just telling people what was happening. And let me have a look at this one. Yeah. I think I posted it on my Twitter, so let me have a look at that. See that? I posted that on my Twitter, basically for my video. When did I do it? June the 14th, so 6 days ago. See, the price of Slurf was at 34 cents. And just based on this kind of idea, I had it going down to at least 26, 25 cents. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think people appreciate how difficult it is to put your neck out on the line and make a prediction and post it on the internet. Okay. And people don't realize how difficult that is. And also people don't realize that and I'm not like gloating. I'm not gloating. I want people to make money. I want people to be safe. Yeah. It kind of hit my target. I'm not going to do any more crazy analysis like this because I don't think we're correcting anymore. I think we're finding balance. I think we're finding equilibrium in the market. Right? So that was like a one-off, potentially. Okay. That's Slurf. I hope that helps. Probably not, but you know, stay safe. I think in all cases, while the momentum is to the downside, it's probably better to short still. Yeah. While the project is still uncertain, while the response from Slurf is minimal from the Twitter. Just keep an eye on the Twitter. If you see that it's still pretty shit, you're not getting any responses or it's not great, then you can still remain bearish. Yeah, we're developing community board and DAO for Slurf with our NFT holders. That was June the 16th. And so people sold into that. So they're not really interested. Stay tuned. A lot needs to happen before the implementation. So it's still early, yeah? And the question for a lot of people is, a DAO, how valuable is a DAO? Is a DAO going to be worth billions of dollars? Is my share of this value going to go up 1,000x, 100x? People are asking themselves that question. So I think a lot of people are going to lose confidence at the moment in this, and then maybe down the line, people are going to buy. Yeah, Mother would be a better token than Slurf, to be honest with you. Why? At the moment, because of it's all about momentum. People, you can't ignore momentum. Mother, let's have a look at Mother quickly, and then after that I'm going to go because it's already quite late and I haven't had lunch. It's not on any decent exchange. Have a look at it next. Yeah, look at that. So you see the difference between Mother, some bullshit shitty token which made this rapper rich, although she was already rich, and Slurf. If you look at the moving averages on these tokens, they're either flat or they're moving up. Yeah, and that's really what you're not fighting against momentum. Yeah, so when you look at this kind of price action, it's very different. It's consolidation after a pump. It's a correction, and the momentum is still to the upside. So even though it's kind of taken a slight downturn on the 4-hour time frame, because of the way the price exploded up, yeah, overall the momentum is still up, yeah, overall. And so that's kind of what you have to bear in mind, that you want to be flowing with the momentum when it comes to trading tokens. It's a lot easier to just follow the momentum, yeah. And so when you're looking at tokens, you've got to look at the moving averages and see what the higher time frame momentum is looking like. It's a new token, so you haven't got all the higher time frame moving averages. But if you compare that to that's why like something like Fetch is still quite good, you know, because although the daily is turning on the higher time frame, look at the 3-day 50 moving average. Look at it, it's pumping, yeah. And so naturally these are the tokens that are going to have more gains, because the market momentum is to the upside. So you have to bear that in mind. And so don't get yourself too caught up on something that has where the momentum is really now to the downside. So that's really the problem with Slurf. There's no way around it. You just can't ignore it. And this is the other thing, bear this in mind. If tomorrow for some reason you see some crazy pump, yeah, guess what? A lot of people will sell into that, yeah, because the momentum is to the downside, and also because there's a lot of trapped liquidity in this whole initial market price range, and so naturally people will be looking to exit at break even or whatever. They'll be looking to exit, and so this at the moment this token has a lot of problems in terms of the price action, and it'll be better to either short, or it'll be better to probably look for lower and then look for consolidation period at some kind of lower price range. Honestly, I think I'd like to see 2 cents tested, yeah, in context of everything that I've seen and experienced. I think 2 cents, why not? Let's go for 2 cents, see what happens. I don't know, I'm making it up, but you know, you never know. The other thing I'm going to do is some kind of fib extension as well, from where is that lower again? Was it here? 1.3, wasn't it? 1.9. What is that? Oh, from the, oh yeah. Oh, okay. Let me just do a fib extension from here to here as well. From this type, it's the other way, isn't it? It's the other way. No, not that way. It's going to be from here to here. Let's have a look at this fib extension from here to here, and then I'm going to do maybe a fib extension from here to here as well. Yeah, I think about 16 cents is a good place for support. 16 cents. Or about 16 or 13 cents. I think 16 cents is going to be a good place for support based on fibs. A little bit of confluence there. And if not, then your levels lower are going to be about 12.8 cents, and then level lower is going to be here 0.8 cents, 8 cents, just above 8 cents. And the other thing I'd like to see is an increase of volume at the lows. So wherever we get to down here, I don't know where, I'd like to see, like you see this volume profile, I'd like to see like a nice big green volume, just like we saw this big green candle. It's a nice big green volume. Yeah. I'd like to see a nice big green volume. So at the very least, I want to see this low tested. And if we lose the low without a convincing swing failure, then probably I'll be aiming for just above 16 cents. Yeah. That would be my first kind of area of interest. Other than that, I'm not interested. Literally not interested. Swing failure, lower, or a sign of strength. One, I don't really care which one. All right, that's how I'm approaching Slurf right now. Okay. I hope that helps. Yeah. If you're stuck in a spot position, yeah, and you're heavily underwater, you're not sure what to do, yeah, you don't want to sell at a loss, even though you're down like 1,000,000%, whatever. It's tricky. You can either short your spot position and hedge it and just wait and see what happens on some kind of derivatives, and so at least you don't lose any more value. Okay, you don't gain in value, but you don't lose value. Or you can just keep on accumulating Slurf at key levels. If you like, if it goes up, it doesn't matter because you're already in spot, and if it goes down, let's say it goes down to 16 cents, you say, well, this is a really important level of area of interest. I could add some more to my position. You're bringing your average position, entry position down. Yeah. Long, LOL. Anyway, I'm going now because apparently my stream is too long and people don't want explanations. Bitcoin's had a nice rejection from that pump. Slurf is basically doing the same thing. All right, I'm gonna go, guys. Thanks for joining me. I am Harbor. You keep on whining about too long, but you can't analyze the charts in 10 minutes. You got to take some time. And I'm trying to explain as well, because I think what's lacking in technical analysis is explanations. Like, I hear a lot of people say this is a good place, that's a good place, this is a good place, but no one's actually giving their reasons why that's a good place. Yeah, I'm trying to explain it so people understand the why, because at the end of the day, people have to make their own decisions about what to do. Yeah, and you can't really make decisions if you don't know why. All right, have a good day, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.